The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, is brought to you by, well, of course, you. If you want to learn more about how you can support the show, go to patreon.com/thearena_podcast.
Hit it! That's what I'm talking about. Wait!
Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
Hey everyone, welcome into The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. This is episode 87. I'm your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burly of Burly and Gaming on Twitch, and Turn-Based Carl. How you guys doing? Burly, how you doing, man?
Doing good. How are you guys?
I'm doing good. Carl, how you doing, man?
I got the Xbox shirt on again.
Okay.
I'm okay with it again, you know. We had a rough week last week. But...
okay, yeah. You were thinking of throwing it in the trash bin or something, yeah?
Yeah. No, it wasn't that extreme. Some people may have been a little extreme about it, but
yeah.
Is what it is.
Yeah. So, we got a great show for you. We're going to be talking about the, of course, PlayStation Plus. More details came out on that, so we're going to talk about that, of course, and we're going to talk some Nintendo, and of course, we're going to give our predictions on our topic of the show for the Geoff Keighley opening night live of Summer Game Fest. So we're going to talk about our predictions on this episode. And we're also, of course, going to talk about the games that we've been playing this week. But before we do that, here's a brief word about where you can find the podcast.
Before the crew discuss what they've been playing, this episode of The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, and the post-show, in audio and video formats, will be going to Patreon in early access for one day after recording. So if you would like to support the show and become a patron at the entry Tier 1 level at $1 per month and get early access to every episode and post-show in audio and video formats, as well as watch or listen ad-free, please visit patreon.com/thearena_podcast for further details. Weekly on Sundays, the podcast will be uploaded to all free podcast services. Weekly on Wednesdays for the post-show, where you can find us on any podcast app for iOS or Android, Spotify, Amazon Music, and in video format on our YouTube channel, The Arena Productions. For the audio version, just download your favorite podcast app or open Spotify and search for The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast. Subscribe, follow us, post a review, and leave us questions, comments, and feedback if you like, if that feature is available there, and spread the word about the podcast. We also have a Discord called The Arena Podcast, where you can join and chat with the Arena Podcast community, and the podcast website is at thearenapodcast.podbean.com, where you can follow us and leave questions and comments as well. Finally, you can also follow us on Twitter at The Arena AMPGNP, as well as on Instagram at TheArena_podcast. Now, back to the show.
All right, guys, I'll let you guys take it away because I had a kind of a crazy week. I didn't have a chance to play any games this past week. I wanted to get back to Demon Slayer, but just didn't get a chance to do that. So I was pretty busy with some other stuff, work-related, family-related stuff during this past week. So I'll start with you, Carl. What did you play this last week?
I am still playing Warhammer 40k Chaos Gate Demon Hunters.
Nice.
Such a long title, man. It's
just call it 40k, square or 40k cubed or something like that.
Yeah, it's a lot. I think I got what I saw, maybe 34 hours or something like that into it, according to Steam.
Wow.
Okay. Do you think you'll break your record for State of Decay too?
No, nothing. I don't think I'll ever break that. I've never played a game like as much as I've played that game, which is weird, but it's just because it's a never ending sort of thing. You can just keep playing that. So I mean, it's still great. I still love it. I fought some bosses. There's some interesting boss battles. I really like how they add interesting mechanics for each boss.
Okay.
They all feel like unique challenges. Some of them more difficult than others, but still very unique.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy about that. A lot of times in these type of games, it's just like, I don't know, more enemies or just like, a stronger enemy. But like, no, these actually had very specific battle mechanics that you had to think about and strategize around. So really cool. Yeah, it's just great, man. It's just, if you like this type of game, you'll love it. I'm impressed with the studio, because I know I looked into them and they did some mobile stuff before, and I'm like, let mobile studios make games like this, please. Just I don't know why they keep doing that crap.
Yeah, and this is on PC you're playing on, right? Yeah, PC.
Yeah, it's only on PC, so
yeah.
It's what you got to do. I wish I could play it in 60 frames per second, but I'm not gonna upgrade my PC right now.
I see. All right, Burly, what have you been playing this past week, or what have you been streaming?
Well, I finished Sifu, got all the endings on Sifu.
Okay.
So I finished that. That was a lot of fun. Boy, did the last stream of it do it. My hand freaking hurt, because you have to do a thing of, little spoiler, all the bosses you don't actually have to kill. You can spare them. There's a neat little mechanic.
Okay.
You get different endings and you learn more about the story.
Like a mercy toggle or something like that.
And I heard about it,
yeah. But that last boss, unfortunately, they don't tell you, because you get an extra phase of the boss. They don't tell you. I'm still thinking you have to get another spare prompt, but no, they want you to just take down the boss. I had to look this up, because literally for 45 minutes, I'm fighting that final boss, and you don't have when you're fighting the final version, you don't have the revive. So if you die, you restart.
Wow.
From the first phase of that boss. So it's like, I'm so nervous, because I'm blocking everything and dodging and everything. I'm still trying to keep my combo up. But I also started up Pokemon Platinum on Nuzlocke run.
Okay.
Not doing too bad on that, but it is a Nuzlocke, and I'm doing loots and I'm playing badly. So I've lost a few decent Mon on my team. And I've been playing Three Houses. I'm on the last chapter, just finishing that up.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Let's jump into the news, guys. So, of course, this week we had, new details emerge on PlayStation Plus. And for you video viewers, I will leave the link below that you can check out from PlayStation blog, all of the details on that. So, and of course, I'm going to have Burly's going to be reading off some of the list of games that are going to be coming out for this. But yeah, I mean, we got a huge dump of the lineup and stuff. So for PS4 and PS5 game catalog. So this is for the extra and premium or deluxe plans that they have this list for. So I'm assuming that the essential plan is basically the same as the older PS Plus, where they're just going to be dropping maybe a couple of games a month for like PS4, or maybe one for PS5 or something like that. But yeah, this whole list here. Yeah.
I would be curious to see after this releases what's going to be the level of quality of the essential games.
Yeah. I'm assuming, this is just me, but I'm assuming it's going to be exactly the same quality of what we are getting now,
or worse.
Or worse. Yes. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it could get much worse, but yeah.
Well, it can.
Game, Xbox Live Gold games with gold, right?
I was going to say it could go low.
Okay, if you want to go that low, Carl. I mean, yeah, that's I don't know. Yeah. I don't know about that. We'll see. I mean, yeah, it's up in the air, but I'm just assuming that it's probably going to be the same as it is now. We'll see, but anyway, some of these games, Burly, take it away, man. What are some of the big games? We're not going to list all of them, because you can check that out on a PlayStation blog. But what are some of the big
read them
games
all, Burly. Read every one.
No, I read that on the morning show.
Exactly. Yeah, we did it
all
on the morning
700. Show. No, didn't they say like 700 at some point? But like, I feel like it's not going to launch at 700.
They said 700 for like launch. But
I don't know about that.
Here's the bigger titles. For your PS4, PS5, you get Death Stranding and Death Stranding Director's Cut. They might as well just give. I think they're only giving the original just for PS4, but give that director's cut. You got Demon Souls for PS5.
Okay.
Here's one that still shocks me is the Ghost of Tsushima director's cut, because that was a title that released last year and has sold well.
PS4, PS5.
Yeah. God of War 2018. Not so surprising. Horizon Zero Dawn. You're getting the PS4 Infamous games, so Second Son and First Light.
Okay. Yeah.
But Marvel's Spider-Man and Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised on that one.
And it seems like we're getting all the Housemarque titles too from like the PS4 generation. Yeah. So like Alien Nation, Dead Nation, for example, Matterfall, Resogun. Yes. My favorite. Yes.
Yeah. I think Bloodborne. It doesn't good that that's on there, and Days Gone, and Gravity Rush remastered and 2.
Yep.
Horizon Zero Dawn, Infamous Second Son. I mean, it's a really good list of PS4, PS5 titles.
Yeah, and Burly, what about the third party partners here?
So the third party, you're getting your Ubisoft in here, which we talked about that earlier in the week. Ubisoft Plus is coming for the launch of this, and you're getting Assassin's Creed Valhalla, a bunch of the Far Cries. It's three remastered and 4.
Well, it's Ubisoft Plus Classic that you're getting.
Yeah.
Which is like, I think, a new tier. I don't think that existed. I think this is like the first thing we're hearing of it. Ubisoft Plus as a service is a separate thing you will be able to pay for on PlayStation Network. Right. Just like on Xbox, which they also announced like earlier in the year when they announced the Extraction was coming. They said that Ubisoft Plus was going to be available.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Okay. And so then we have the classic games catalog, of course, for the PlayStation Plus Premium.
I'm looking at it too
plan.
Here.
Yeah.
Like third party, I mean, like there's not a ton.
No, not a ton.
You still got Marvel's Guardians.
Yeah. Which I thought was interesting. I'm like, wow, they're really just like selling themselves out everywhere, huh?
Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah. That's cool. That's cool one,
yeah.
Soul Calibur 6 is, I guess, neat. I don't know if those are still considered great. I used to love Soul Calibur.
Yeah,
I haven't played Soul Calibur since 3. I think. That's the last one I played.
And so, Burly, what are we going to be getting for the classic games catalog here? So
we're not getting a whole lot from what we're shown. So you're getting like Ape Escape, Hot Shots Golf, Intelligence Cube, Jumping Flash, Siphon Filter.
And Super Stardust Portable. That's another Housemarque. Yeah, Super Stardust.
Mr. Driller, Tekken 2, Worms World Party, Worms Armageddon. But then we're getting a few remasters, which were PS2 games that are already you can buy.
Yeah.
PS2 and PS3 games remastered. You got Ape Escape 2, Ark the Land, Twilight of Spirits, Dark Cloud 1 and 2, Fantavision, Hot Shots Tennis, all the Jack and Daxter games, except for the PSP one.
Yeah.
Rogue Galaxy, Siren, Wild Arms 3, Bioshock Remastered, Borderlands The Handsome Collection, Bulletstorm, Kingdoms of Alamar, Lego Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And then for PS3, you've got
via streaming. Yes.
Via streaming. You have Demon Souls, the PS3 Infamous games, and a few of the Ratchet and Clanks, which I find it odd you don't have the first one, Future Tools of Destruction, because you're giving the Quest for Booty, which is the tie-in game between that and A Crack in Time.
Yeah.
A Crack in Time, which is probably one of my favorites in the series, and then Into the Nexus.
Let's see.
You know what's weird? Resistance 3 is on there.
Yeah.
But why not Resistance 1 and 2?
Yeah, I don't get it because they own Insomniac.
Yeah. I wonder, like, I know they're saying this isn't the full list, but like these are the ones they chose to highlight, and it's odd to leave certain things out.
Well, a lot of these were on PS Now. A lot of these are the same titles on PS Now.
Like I noticed specifically Arc the Lad, Twilight of Spirits, that the PS2 game. That was on PS Now, which is I actually really enjoy that game.
Yeah. And what about the third-party partners for the PS3 games, Burly? Yeah.
So you got my favorite company, Capcom.
They're great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you do have you got Konami with one Castlevania game, Lords of Shadow 2.
Yeah.
And Ninja Theory with Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2. And also Rockstar with Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. I'm hoping that's the full game plus the Nightmare DLC.
Yeah.
For someone that knows very little of Red Dead.
So I'm pretty sure that game was standalone.
So. Oh, that was a standalone? Okay.
Yeah.
Then that's just stupid.
It's weird. Yeah, it's real weird. But they also have BioShock Remastered on there and Borderlands Collection.
Yeah.
Lego Harry Potter Collection.
Yeah.
And then we move on to the time-limited game trials, of course, for the premium and deluxe plans for PlayStation Studios' Uncharted Legacy of Thieves Collection on the PS5 side, and then Horizon Forbidden West, PS4, PS5. Third-party partners, Cyberpunk 2077, Farming Simulator 22, Tiny Tina's Wonderland, and WWE 2K22. So
the time trial thing, I'm like, are you serious with this list? Like, is this it? This better not be it. Like, I was expecting time trial list to be like huge.
Yeah.
It's like, what's the point of it if it's only a handful of games?
And it's probably going to be like that every month. They're going to drop like a couple of games onto it or something like that.
It's weird.
Yeah.
We don't know.
I want more. I want more. Who knows? We could be getting a lot more. We don't know.
Yeah.
But
it's also funny that Farming Simulator 2022 is on Game Pass. So like, you can play the whole game over here or play a time trial over here.
Yeah.
It's a little weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do like that at least I'm getting Tiny Tina. I can try the game so I can figure out, is this worth paying budgetary price?
Yeah.
What is this worth to me? Just as we've said on the morning show, stay away from that DLC because both the first two DLCs are short content and people are not happy with them.
Yeah. So the launch is actually in the first region is next Tuesday, the 24th, out here in Asia, followed by Japan here on the 2nd, and then North and South America on June 13th. Finally, Europe, Australia, New Zealand on the 23rd of June. So it'll be interesting next week to see how people respond to out here in Asia. And I'm wondering, what I'm wondering is, because with the old version of the PS Plus, out here in Asia, there would always be different titles than the North America region titles. So I'm wondering if they're going to be playing with these titles, in Asia and have like Japanese or Asian type of games on these lists instead. I'm interested to see when those come out, what they have to offer. So, yeah. But anyway, we shall see.
I'm sure you're going to get your variations where, for the Asian market, they'll get these games, but we won't get access to them here in North America. And we'll have some that that won't come to the Asian markets.
Yeah. And also, we got, of course, word of. I'm sorry, I didn't want to bring that one up. That's for later in the show. I don't know why that came up. let me go back to the other detail.
Two notably missing games from the list were Knack 2, and The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah. So. I'm okay with The Last of Us Part 2 not being there.
Burly, don't do that. Stop. Just stop right there.
Well, because as soon as I know it's on that list, I'm going to get DMs and Twitter from you. You need to play it. You need to stream it. You need to this.
I'm not going to force you to play it. You got your Ghost of Tsushima, okay? Let the rest of us
True.
The better game.
Yeah, no. Ooh, those are fighting words.
All right, but anyway, I just wanted to mention also trophy support is also going to end. The link below to that story is below for you video viewers. So trophy support is also going to be coming to specific classic titles. So
so far just Siphon Filter, right?
Siphon Filter, that's all. Yeah.
Yeah.
So so the Siphon Filter stuff. So we got
so
that.
It's possible. At least we know.
Yeah.
If you care.
Yeah.
Which I don't.
And then of course Ubisoft Plus is going to be coming to PlayStation as well. So that was a little bit of a surprise, but I mean, it's going to be coming to Xbox as well. So we don't know exactly when it's coming. We'll probably find out during the Xbox showcase in June when that might be dropping. But a lot of people are speculating it's going to be later in the year. But it's, as well as for PlayStation. But it's going to be dropping. And I'll read some of the games that are going to be dropping for it. Of course, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, For Honor, The Crew 2, Child of Light, Eagle Flight, Far Cry 3, Blood Dragon, Far Cry 3 Remaster, Far Cry 4, Legendary Fishing, Risk, Urban Assault.
Fish?
Yeah. Legendary Fishing. Yeah. South Park, The Fractured Butthole, South Park, The Stick of Truth, Space Junkies, Star Trek Bridge Crew, which is really cool in VR, Starlink, Battle for Atlas, Steep, The Crew, The Division, Trackmania Turbo, Transference, Trials Fusion, Trials of the Blood Dragon game, Trials Rising, Valiant Hearts, The Great War. That's a great indie title. Watch Dogs, Werewolves Within, and Zombie. Zombie. Yeah. So...
Zombie
yeah,
U.
Valiant Hearts. That was a cool little like side-scrolling game. It was kind of similar in a way to Child of Light, kind of.
Well, I was gonna say, Child Light was a great little RPG.
Yeah,
I don't know if anyone's.
But
it.
Valiant Hearts.
I didn't finish
There's like
it,
the guy and his dog running around during World War I think it is. So
Yeah, that was. I
really
remember
cool.
playing that because I think Xbox gave it away.
yeah,
I played that.
yeah,
But one thing we didn't mention that also came out with this around the same time with this PlayStation collection is that they've said if you've bought in certain PS1 games over the years, even if you're not part of the premium or part of this new service,
you can still
will be able
download
to
them.
download them because you
Right.
bought them, which is nice that Sony is carrying over the licenses because a certain other Japanese gaming company, Nintendo, you could buy something on the Wii or the 3DS or the Wii U. You still have to re-buy it on everything else.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, that is good. You would not expect them to have done that. So good on them for that.
Yeah. And speaking, go ahead.
What's interesting,
Carl.
I think, is that so like the PlayStation Plus collection, right? That still exists, I assume.
Yes, the PS.
So they said, right? So like if you get Essential, you still get that. I would assume once this new service starts, which includes a lot of good games that are in this as well. Yeah. Obviously, this list has better stuff, but there's also some third-party stuff that I guess wasn't in there. That's on collection, which I guess you're going to get with all this as well. But I think it's just interesting that, like, even though you have a really good list of PS4, PS5 titles in there, if you got Essential, you'd still have a solid list of like PS4 games to play with collection. Yeah, I think with this service and with this drop here, I don't know if we're like talking about the overall feeling of this, is that it is a really good collection of PS4, PS5 titles, right? Like the back catalog of, well, I would say first party, right? Or first party published games is really good. Yeah. Third party is kind of okay. There's not really a ton of third party. There's some decent titles in there for sure. Yeah. But as far as the classic selection, I mean, it's pretty bare bones to me. I think there's if you're a classic PS1, PS2 player, PS3, I'm not even going to talk about because it's streaming, but PS1 and PS2, you're looking at that list. You're like, where's all the stuff that I remember that I love? You know, right. And because most of that is third party, I understand why we're not seeing it there. Yeah. But it is weird that it seems that the PS Now library, which I assumed would be the bulk of this, maybe it will still be, because again, this isn't all of it. But it also might not be as extensive as that library, because maybe those license agreements don't extend into this new service. So maybe some of those publishers have decided, things are different now. We're either going to charge more, or we want to do something different. So they might not be able to get so easily what they previously had on PS Now, which was started a long, long time ago when there was really no other competition. There wasn't a lot of people doing that type of stuff.
Right.
So we'll see. It's if you're new to PlayStation, I feel like you should definitely get the extra service, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you need premium. There's probably nothing in there that's really gonna get you. If you're like a hardcore, you probably like premium.
Yeah.
And if you're somewhere in the middle, like if you're casual, you just play mostly new stuff. I don't know what's in that service for you, because you probably play most of these games.
Yeah. Yeah, for me personally, I'm just sticking with the Essential, which was the regular PS Plus from before. So because a lot of these games, the classic games I played a long time ago, and all these other games from PS4 era, I played most of them already. So just stick with Essential and see what they have to offer. So each month. So
yeah. And when I get a PS5 eventually, I'm going to want to play. I do want to try like Days Gone and Infamous Second Son, which I've never played. And then, Miles Morales I'd want to try.
Yeah.
Was there another PS5 game on there I'd want to try? Not sure.
Returnal?
Nah. Not for me.
Demon Souls?
Demon Souls. I might want to look at it. I don't know. It's pretty.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, let's move on, guys. So speaking of that other Japanese company Burly was talking about, Nintendo, of course. Yeah, we got some sales figures, which was kind of interesting. And for all of you video viewers, the link is below here. Lots of people are buying a second Nintendo Switch. So this is from Haley Williams over at GameSpot, and there was a company financial result Q&A. And Nintendo was asked about the new OLED model Switch and what ratio of sales the company expects it to make up. In response, of course, Nintendo's representative director and president Furukawa Shuntaro shared some interesting stats about both the OLED and Switch Lite being purchased by people who've already owned a Switch. So it's interesting. It says about Nintendo Switch Lite units, about 30% were repeat purchases. As for the OLED model, about 40%. So, yeah, that's that's a lot. So, I don't know. And he really didn't get into too many factors as to why that was happening. But I don't know. Let's speculate on that. That's a little high. Why do you think people are buying, additional, OLEDs and Switch Lites? I would think for the Switch Lite, it'd probably be for an additional family member. Possibly, especially, in a family with kids that are in elementary school, junior high, maybe out here in Japan, especially. But for the OLED model, I don't know why they would buy a second model. Maybe something happened, maybe the model was defunct or something. I don't know. What do you guys think? Carl?
Well, they're saying that people who bought the OLED had a previous Switch. That's what they're saying, right?
They had a previous model, but it was the exact same. It was the same model. It was an OLED.
I don't think that's what they're saying, right? That doesn't make sense.
They're saying. That's what they're saying.
That can't be right. That doesn't make any sense.
That's what they're saying.
No, if we're remembering it, it's saying a lot of people are going back and buying another Switch model. A lot more people are going to the OLED, but the Lite is still selling well.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure those numbers mean like 40% of people who bought an OLED already had a Switch. And 30% of people who bought a Lite already had a Switch, regardless of model.
Well, it says repeat purchases. So
yeah, that's what they mean. Yeah, pretty sure that's what they mean. Unless they're saying that this 40% bought 2 OLEDs at the same time or something. That would be, I can't even like look at it that way because it doesn't make any sense.
But that's what the Furukawa song's saying, though. So I don't know. Take him at his word, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
From
know.
the sales figures, I don't know. But
I think it's how it's interpreted. It could be either way, I suppose. But I look at it as people, obviously, yeah, it makes sense that if you own a Switch, you bought an OLED. Like I would think the majority of people buying OLEDs already had some sort of Switch. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
The light is similar, I guess, because it feels like to some people a companion. Like I bought it just as the only one I wanted because it was cheaper and didn't really care that much, so I just bought that. Mm-hmm. It is, you know, what's interesting when I look at these type of things is that it makes sense. Like when you look at these numbers, it's obvious that why Switch needs to be a profitable piece of hardware because there's not many repeat buyers. Each of those repeat buyers doesn't equate to a repeat like person to sell games to, because they can, you could have 2 Switches, but you're the same person. Your games are the same across it. Mm-hmm. You're only one person buying games, right? If you have 2 Switches. Mm-hmm. So you're going to want your units to be profitable, obviously. And that's very clear why Switch is definitely going to keep itself in that range of like, when we sell it at a certain price, like the amount of the hardware that's in it, it's going to make us money. Yeah. Those numbers do make you look at it and think like, how many actual Switch potential users are there? It's obviously not equal to the high number of units out there.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Burly, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah. Well, the Switch Lite, it's selling so well is because I know people that have bought it because they want just a little travel unit. They don't want to take their base unit, and you can get the Lite pretty cheap. Yeah. So there's a lot of people that just want a little portable unit to get on the go, or like and stuff like that. And just some people that don't want to have it on their TV, they want to watch something on their TV, just have a little light unit so they can play Mario Golf or whatever just quickly on the couch while they've got the TV in the background. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of that. The OLED numbers are surprising me. It is an upgrade, but it's not that much of an upgrade compared to the base Switch of like, I need to drop this. Like I'm going to go back to the 3DS, where the new Nintendo 3DS had quite the upgrade compared to if I had a base 3DS. So the new 3DS XL had had much of an upgrade for me because you had the better battery, better processor, and the bigger screens and all that.
Okay, let me ask you guys this then. Is this the last iteration of hardware before we get the next generation Switch? Will they upgrade the OLED model before the next gen version of Switch comes out?
I think they might upgrade the light, make an OLED light. I could see that. I'm still surprised they haven't fully discontinued the original model, because they are still selling the original model.
No, not at Yodobashi. No. Yodobashi, it's just the OLED model now.
But I can still, because I went into like a Walmart like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, they're still here too.
They're still here. You have all 3 models.
Yeah, in Japan, and I would assume, well, in my Yodobashi here where I live, they're just selling the OLED model. They're not selling the.
They may have allocated more to Japan because actually, when I look, I usually don't see OLEDs for sale. I just see various different other models, like either special editions or just the regular and lights. I'm not even sure if I see lights there, to be honest.
Yeah, well, here it's lights and OLED models. That's it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, lights are still selling well. I don't see a lot of lights, but I do see them. But I've seen them move units. Yeah. Just because people are like, "Ooh, I can get the Switch. This is the cheap version. I can get in cheap and then spend full price for games because most major Switch games don't go down." Yeah.
And I think it was until late last year they were still at Yodobashi. They were still selling the 3DS XL you know.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and
So-
then they
so
finally
those
discontinued
are gone
yeah.
here.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. To your question, Expat, I don't think they're done upgrading this Switch yet.
mhm.
I think they need to, and they will wait longer for a second Switch, like an official Switch 2, just because they need that hardware to. I feel like they really need to get it to a point where it's something that could potentially get current gen games, which I think is really hard. I don't know how they're gonna pull that off, but with like enough of a boost in hardware and the DLSS, maybe they could possibly get some of those games.
Okay.
Right? Like if you look at something like Gotham Knights, like they just cut PS4 and Xbox One. What does that mean for Switch? Does that mean never ever possible?
Yeah.
Only streaming?
I was gonna say probably streaming only.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, do they
More and more,
can they
more and more big titles. That's all they're going to for the Switch is streaming only.
so like can they wait enough, maybe a year, maybe even 2 years to get to the point where portable hardware can be affordable enough to build a unit that could potentially run that?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like maybe that's I think they should wait for it because they're not hurting for sales. Obviously, they're doing incredibly well. I think just an upgraded unit that can run higher frame rates is enough at this point. Like because that would actually get me to buy it because I have a light only, and I kind of want something a little better, but I don't want an OLED because it's just really the same thing. It's just a brighter screen, a nicer quality screen. That's really all it is. But I want
and a little bit of more memory. That's it.
I was in the same conundrum when it was, with the Vita. It was to get the, the different screen, on the Vita. I was like,
it's downgrade it.
Yeah. I'm just like, no, I'm not going to do that. So
I had the original OLED model.
Yeah,
it was pretty, really, really nice screen. I understand the draw of the OLED, but
yeah. So. Yeah. Anyway, we shall see about that. And like with Breath of the Wild 2 and everything, will it launch on the OLED model, or will they have some kind of another iteration before the next generation Switch comes out? We shall see. But,
I think so. Still want my home model. Damn it! Give me my home model. Just a freaking regular console with a what do you call it? I forget the name of the controller. The regular. No. The
Pro Controller.
Pro Controller. So it's a regular unit with no screen that comes with the Pro Controller, and let it run my games at 60 frames per second. And that's all I ask. Okay, I don't need anything more.
If you're wanting a good controller, because the Pro Controller I have it's okay, but half the cost, go get yourself an 8-bit Duo SN30 Pro. Thing's great. Has a much better D-pad, much better button layout, and everything. And it's half the cost of the Pro Controller. It has a better battery life.
Cool.
All right, guys. So next up, the June gaming showcases. Of course, we're getting really close now, a couple of weeks away, from all of these gaming events. So we're going to talk about those a little bit before we get into our predictions for opening night live. But anyway, yes, and the link is below here for the article from Game Informer for all of you video viewers. So I'm going to go ahead and run some of these off for you. So on June 9th, of course, is the opening night live Summer Game Fest, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. And so Burly and I, we already talked about this on the morning show, but Burly's going to be at work. So we're not going to have a chance to stream that one live. But yeah. So, of course, Geoff Keighley's centerpiece event, and we're going to be talking about that shortly. June 10th, Geeked Week 2022 for Netflix.
Oh, yeah.
Netflix.
Ugh.
So 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. So, yeah.
There's usually cool stuff at those events, though.
Yeah. It's going to highlight around 60 upcoming movies and TV series making their way to the service. As the name implies, Geeked Week spans multiple days and will offer looks at gaming adaptations such as Cyberpunk, End Runners, and Resident Evil. So, that's coming. And then, of course, the Tribeca Game Spotlight. So that's going to be at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. So celebrates the titles officially selected by Tribeca to compete for the Tribeca Games Award. Expect exclusive gameplay reveals and developer interviews from the following titles: A Plague Tale Requiem, American Arcadia, As Dusk Falls, Cuphead, The Delicious Last Course, Immortality, Oxenfree 2, Lost Signals, The Cub, Thirsty Suitors, and Venba. So yeah, so that's also on the 10th. So, and then we move to June 11th. Of course, Guerrilla Collective starts at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. So Guerrilla Collective traditionally showcases dozens upon dozens of promising independent titles, several of which will appear exclusively at the event. Yeah. So yeah. And then also on the 11th at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, Wholesome Games Direct. It serves as a companion show to the Guerrilla event that shines a spotlight on cozier indie titles, so like family-oriented indie titles, to make you feel warm and fuzzy inside. So yeah, Oblets, which was at the last indie world showcase, that's also going to be there. Yeah. And then of course the Future Games Show, also on the 11th at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. So Games Radar, of course, hosts this year's showcase. The outlet promises 1 hour of world premieres, trailers, and developer interviews from around 40 upcoming titles. Confirmed publishers include Team 17, Thunderful, and Amanita Design. So the Future Games Show. And then, of course, the big one, besides the opening night live, June 12th, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. Burly and I will definitely be streaming this live. Hopefully, Carl will be able to join us as well. Hopefully.
Yeah, we got to talk about that. I want to do it.
Yeah. So we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later. So anyway, the Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase. So yeah, expect a litany of reveals and updates from Microsoft's slate of third-party studios, with Bethesda having time carved out for its announcements. And in a couple of weeks, on I think it's episode 89 of our podcast, we're going to be doing our predictions for that show. So please stay tuned for that as well. And then also on the 12th is the PC gaming show, which will, of course, that'll be at 12 p.m. Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern, and that'll be all things PC related. So stay tuned for that. And, of course, as Burly and I, we talked about on the morning show, maybe there will be a state of play. So PlayStation might drop a state of play in between some of these shows. So we shall find out later on. And when we do, we will bring that news to you as well. So anyway, yeah, I mean, opening night live and the Xbox showcase, I think those are the big two. What do you guys think?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
I do like the Future Games Show. I remember I checked that out last time.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. Yeah. So we'll probably get a lot of announcements there as well. So, and the PC Game Show would be pretty interesting as well. So, Burly, what do you think, man?
Overall, this is, and these I'll definitely check out the highlights. Unfortunately, a lot of these are going on while I'm working, so I can't, and I got to be in the office, so I can't even have them up on the screen. So,
yeah.
No Capcom show for you, Burly.
Well, who knows? Maybe at the Microsoft event, we get Microsoft is bought in Capcom.
Well, Capcom's going to be at opening night live as well, so they're going to be there. And Ubisoft is also going to be at opening night live too. Usually Ubisoft would have their own kind of like an E3 show, but it looks like they're not going to be doing that this year. So we'll see. Yeah. All right. So now that leads us to our topic of the show, of course, our predictions for Summer Game Fest opening night live. So Geoff Keighley's event. So we're going to be talking about that now. And then, of course, in a couple of weeks, we'll give our predictions for the Xbox Games Showcase. So, yeah, guys, of course, we're going to give two predictions and then a wild card prediction. So I will, let's see, let's go alphabetical order. Of course, Burly. I'll let you start. I'll let you start first. Go ahead and let's give both of our predictions and our wild card. Okay, so you will go first, then Carl, you'll go after that, and then I will finish. Okay? So, Burly, take it away. Yeah.
My first prediction is we are going to get a teaser of what the Elden Ring DLC is going to be. Because if you remember last year at this event, we did get Elden Ring was the huge reveal trailer with gameplay and all that.
Right.
There, and there's been data mined that there's going to be DLC for the game and all that. So I think of no other place that they're going to do this. They would announce it here.
Okay. All right. Prediction 2.
Prediction 2 is Deviation Games. If you remember, they were at the last event that they showed off that they formed. It was a bunch of ex-Call of Duty from Treyarch and what it was. I forget the other studio, one of the other Call of Duty studios. They had formed. So we're going to get a little teaser of what their project they're working on is.
Okay. And your wild card.
My wild card, this one was a little hard to come up with because I was like, what out of left field can we see? And I'm going with, we're going to get, Ubisoft is just going to come in and give them Skull and Bones.
Okay. All right. Release date?
We're going to get a release date for it.
Finally? Okay.
Yeah. Whether that release date is going to be true or tentative.
At this point, I would probably have to say it's going to be true. I mean, why not? I mean, it's been so many years now, so yeah. Okay. Thanks, Burly. All right. Those are your predictions. Carl, take it away, man. What are your 2 predictions and your wild card?
What? So the wild card's supposed to be something weird? Is that the case? I guess
just a out there feeling kind of prediction.
Because like one of my regular predictions was going to be Skull and Bones is going to be there.
Well, that's fine. Yeah, you can keep it. Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, they leaked a 6-minute video of that game, like just a full presentation.
Yeah,
I think that's where it's going to be. I think we're finally, it's going to be the reveal, and they're just going to show it, and we'll have a date. I don't know, but I think it could. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
So the Callisto Protocol, I think we'll see again, and we'll see gameplay because that's supposed to be fairly soon. So definitely a good place to show it.
Okay.
And then as a wild card, I'm gonna say we're gonna see the certain affinity Halo Battle Royale sort of whatever game that might be.
Okay.
Multiplayer aspect for Halo Infinite. I think maybe that would be a good place to, if you're gonna show that off, like, that's something that you want everyone to see because it's again free to play type game. If you're gonna give the Summer Game Fest something from Xbox, that makes a lot of sense. They did Halo last time as well, so.
Okay. All right. Okay, my turn. Prediction number 1. EA is one of the they're also going to be there. And of course, Respawn Entertainment, of course, they make Apex Legends and all. Apex, they came out with their mobile version just recently as well, but I think they're going to drop the hammer and they're going to show Titanfall 3.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's not where I thought you were going. I think that should be your wild card.
I knew as soon
that's
as he
no,
said
no, that's not the wild card. Believe me, you'll hear the wild card.
As soon as he said Respawn, I knew the words Titanfall 3 were going to come.
Yeah, I think it's time. It's been a long time since Titanfall 2 came out, and of course, that's basically the game that spawned Apex Legends. And so I think it's time for Titanfall 3 to be announced. Whether they show any gameplay, I don't know if we'll get any gameplay, but I think they're going to actually reveal it. So,
I really thought you were going to say Jedi Fallen Order 2.
No. I think that's going to be later in the year. I think I think it's going to be later, either at Gamescom or the Game Awards. I think, I think it's a little too early yet still. But all right, prediction number 2. Well, what can be a show with Geoff Keighley without, Kojima? Obviously, Kojima's got to be a part of this show in some way, shape, or form. And as you probably know by now, just the other day, Norman Reedus blurbed out his, his statement that Death Stranding 2 is in development. So I think we're going to get the announcement for Death Stranding 2 and possibly some gameplay at this show. Whether it's at the end of the show or close to the end of the show, we'll see. Yeah. So I think, Kojima's going to be there in some way, shape, or form. He always is. And so...
Last year he was there.
Yeah.
He was just like, hey guys, like I'm still working on games. I'll show you something later.
Well, he has his new studio now too. So he moved to a different location. So we might actually see that location,
I hope Norman Reedus is just like doesn't know what he's talking about, and like he was filming or doing something for a different game. It's not Death Stranding 2. He's just confused. He just doesn't know enough about the game.
Yeah. Okay. And here's my wild card. Okay. So obviously Starfield has been delayed, of course, into spring of next year. So, but we're still probably going to get a lot of that at, the Xbox showcase. We're probably going to see some gameplay there, and we'll talk about that when we do our predictions for the Xbox show. But here's my wild card, guys. End of the show, we get God of War Ragnarok. Release date 11/11/22.
It's messed up.
Could you
so
just
many
imagine?
people on Twitter. So many
that?
people are on Twitter are running with that God of War is going to take that release date. I'm like,
it's just a wild card. Come on. I mean, it's just. I mean, it's probably not going to happen. But I mean,
Friday. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, but who knows, man? We might get a release date for it. Because Keighley always likes to surprise everybody with something. Of course, like Burly was saying with Elden Ring. So, I mean, and of course, PlayStation is going to be at this, opening night live. So why not do it at the end, and then, of course, freak everybody out, and just throw 11/11/22 in there, just to kind of, throw salt in the wound of Xbox, and I don't think that's going to happen. But like I said, it's just a wild card prediction. So
if anything I could see for PlayStation doing there is more of their service to try and get people on there. I think they'd want to save God of War for their state of play, because that is something you end the state of play with, because this is their big title of the year that everyone's still wanting.
Yeah, but Burley, I mean, recently most of the state of plays have been dedicated to one particular game, the whole state of play, like a 30-minute look. So I'm thinking a state of play like that for God of War Ragnarok would be dedicated to Ragnarok only for like 30-35 minutes or 20 minutes, I should say, because that's pretty much how long these state of plays are. So, as to what we have to offer, gameplay wise and things like that. So we'll see, but
that 11/11 date. I mean, I wouldn't put Sony past doing that. They would like to do something as devious as that.
Right. That's why I threw it in there as a wild card, because I could just see them doing that just to be devious. And
It only thing that is worrisome is like they would need to make sure that the game could be given release copies out several weeks early, because you don't want to rush bump up against the Keighleys for Game Awards nominations.
Yeah. Just a little bit of information about the Summer Game Fest too, and it's like, so 25 publishers were at the show last year. This year 30 are going to be there. So 2K is going to be there, Activision's going to be there. Actually, Amazon's also part of this, as well as Netflix. So of course, the Xbox with their event, and PlayStation's going to be at the opening night live as well. So, yeah. So,
I think playing with release dates though, kind of risky.
Yeah,
people Starfield should do 3/3/23 now. I'm like, no, don't Like, don't stick yourself to some like gimmick date again. Like you thought that was a cool date before. I get it because it was Skyrim's date was something, right? It was like 11/11/11 or something.
Yeah.
It's like I get it, but like don't do it again. You just when the game's ready, like pick a date that makes sense. Like don't try to do something like that. Even the Halo thing, people are like, oh, they're gonna release Halo Infinite on the anniversary date. And like, no, they're not. And then they did like the early beta because they weren't. It's not a good thing to just try to hit a date because it's fun, you know.
Right. All right, so yeah, we're looking forward to the opening night live and to see what they have to offer. Of course, we will be bringing you all of the information of what drops during that show, on the morning show and as well as on the podcast. So stay tuned for that. All right,
really, your wild card should have been Beyond Good and Evil 2, man. That would have been. That's very, very wild.
I knew you were going to bring that up, Carl. I was like, there's no chance in hell.
Yeah, I think I got better chances of winning the lottery than that game ever coming out at this point.
Well, didn't they say it's not coming out?
That's the hell freezes over pick, right?
Yeah. So, all right.
If that game comes out, that's the the fourth sign of the apocalypse is happening?
Yeah, something like that.
Still have that bet going, my friend. If he remembers, I wonder if he does. I should ask him.
Yeah,
is what's going to come out first, Beyond Good and Evil 2 or another Darkstalkers game?
At this point, I might think Darkstalkers.
I know, right? Yeah. It's a wild card. It just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah,
just like, hey, look, there it is.
All right, so now it's time to talk about the new game releases for the week of May 23rd through the 30th. Of course, the link I'm putting below for all of you video viewers for releases.com. And of course, we're going to give our picks of the week. And Carl, we're going to start with you. What is your game pick of the week for releases.com?
I got to pull it up. Oh my God, not ready. Oh, no.
You got it?
Click buttons. Damn it. All games. This website is slow. It's the website's fault. It's not me.
Okay.
All right. It is where there it is.
All right.
Hard Space Shipbreaker.
All right.
Coming to PC on Tuesday, May 24th. Equipped with cutting-edge salvaging tech, carve and slice spaceships to recover valuable materials. Upgrade your gear to take on more lucrative contracts and pay your billion credits debt to Lynx Corp. Okay. Yeah, this game was a early access thing, and from what I've seen of it, it looks like a very interesting, different type of game. Like it looks like you have to be very specific and careful about how you break apart these derelict ships because there are things that could go wrong with it, that you could damage or blow up. And it's cool. It's these weird, interesting PC games are worth checking out, and it's on Game Pass.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Carl. Burly, you're up next. What do you got?
Mine is Pac-Man Museum Plus. Pac Museum Plus presents a unique, curated collection of classic and modern Pac-Man games from the over 40-year history of the stored iconic video game characters library. Fans, enthusiasts will be able to enjoy the original arcade classic. Why I had so much trouble there, alongside more modern frenetic titles, including Pac-Man's Battle Royale, Pac-Man 256, and more, coming Friday, May 27th to PC, PS4, Switch, Xbox One. And we all know Carl loves his Battle Royales.
Yes. Yeah. There's Pac-Man Battle Royale?
Burly?
Yes, that's as it says. It's
in there.
Pac-Man Battle Royale.
All right.
I've not played it, so I can't try it.
Let's do it.
All right.
Yeah.
It looks fun though. Like if you're a Pac-Man fan, for sure.
Yep.
And coming to Game Pass, I think too, isn't it? Eventually.
Yep. Yeah. It is launching. Yeah, Game Pass.
All right. Next up, my pick: Sniper Elite 5. The award-winning series returns as Carl Fairburn fights to uncover Project Kraken in 1944 France. The genre-defining authentic sniping with enhanced kill cam has never looked or felt better as you fight across immersive maps to stop the Nazi war machine in its tracks. So it's coming to PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X on Thursday, May 26th. So yeah, guys, can't wait for this. Yeah, so love to play these sniper games. Oh yes,
you're gonna make time for it.
I'm gonna make time for this for sure, man. Yes, because I love my sniper games, and as I was telling Burly, I actually in real life I do have a sniper's license. Yeah,
cool.
So yeah, so
did you play any of the other ones?
Yes, Sniper Elite 4. Yeah, I played on PlayStation. So
what is that? How do you like it? Like I don't really know like what these games are really like, other than the cool X-ray shit thing.
Well, it's very stealthy. I mean, it's
I like stealth.
Yeah, it's very stealthy in its approach, and yeah, I mean, a lot of it has to do with the kill cams and stuff like that. But I mean, there are objectives, and the games are a solid like 15 to 20 hours of playthrough time, and the maps are pretty complex as well. So, but yeah, it's very stealthy. I mean, some of these missions can take you a couple hours to complete. So yeah, I mean, it's fun. I mean, one little misstep and you got everybody on top of you. So yeah, it's kind of like Hitman in a sense.
Yeah, I was just thinking that when you said that stuff. Okay, that's cool. Like the classic Hitman, where there's just like a bunch of different levels and there's interesting enemy placements, and you got to figure out a way to get through it all.
Yeah, and it's like and the DLCs that they've come out with, like one that you'd go after Hitler and stuff like that. So it's good stuff. So yeah,
they have like the Nazi group is like Kraken, which I'm like, all right, that's Hydra. Like you just took that.
Hail Hydra,
yeah. I'm assuming that came from Marvel, unless there's some other historical reference to that, which I don't know about. Because the Marvel one's really old, so it's from the comics.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so now it's time to talk about some of our programming notes. Or actually, before we do that, Carl is going to run down the list of the Game Pass games that are dropping at the final part of May. And then there's a couple that we know of for June. So Carl's going to talk about those now. So Carl, go ahead and take it away. What are the Game Pass games that are coming at the end of the month?
All right. Well, already out now on PC, you have Her Story. On cloud console PC, you have Jurassic World Evolution 2. You have console PC, Little Witch in the Woods. Mm-hmm. And on cloud, you have Skate. And then cloud console PC, Umurangi Generation Special Edition. Okay. And Farming Simulator 22 is already out as well on cloud console PC.
Cool. As
well as Vampire Saviors on PC. All right. Then coming on the 24th, you have Floppy Nights on cloud console PC. And that's a launch game. That's new. Then you have My Pick of the Week, Hard Space Shipbreakers, launching on PC out of early access on May 24th. Yeah. Sniper Elite 5, console and PC, May 26th. Yep. Cricket 22 on May 27th for PC only. Pac-Man Museum Plus, cloud console PC, May 27th. And that's it. There's a couple of things getting touch controls on cloud. I don't know if anybody's really interested. Yeah. Not going to read all of those.
And we also got the word for go ahead.
I'll read what's leaving.
Yeah,
I'll do it. May 31st, EA Sports NHL 20, Farming Simulator 19, Knockout City, Resident Evil 7, Spellforce 3, Super Hot Mind Control Delete, and Yes, Your Grace. There's some good stuff in here leaving. So
yeah. Well, it's funny that 19 is leaving and then, 22 is entering. But what happened to Farming Simulator 20 and 21?
I don't know enough about the franchise. If they are still there or if they maybe skipped a year, or I have no idea.
Yeah, no idea.
I can't remember.
Yeah, but and you get 20% off on these games if you buy them, so if they're leaving. Just remember that stuff. There's some good stuff there.
Yeah. And Carl, we got the news also about Assassin's Creed Origins release date for that.
June 7th, I believe.
7th, yes.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
And
along with some For Honor things coming, right?
Yeah, and that's going to be the enhanced version, I think, as well, too, because I know they were enhancing it. Assassin's Creed Origins.
There's like talk out there that there's going to be some 60 FPS boosts or enhancement upgrade, but it's not officially announced. But that's awesome. I would, play the game in 60 frames.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yes, please.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Carl. So now some of our, of course, programming announcements. Of course, Burly and I, we do the morning show, obviously, Monday through Friday. So at, of course, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So you can come and check us out, as we talk about the day's gaming news. So, of course, it's over on our Twitter and our Twitch and YouTube channels. So we multi-stream it for you. So come and check that out. So we do that. And as well, we're going to be recording after we record this episode of the podcast. We're going to be recording our Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness spoiler review. So that'll, of course, will go up to our Patreon in early access. And then after that, it will go to our YouTube channel once it goes public. As well as Burly and I will be recording on Monday our next episode of Star Trek Strange New Worlds, episode 3, Ghosts of Illyria review. So stay tuned for that. Of course, that will also go up to our Patreon in early access. And then after early access, we'll go to our YouTube channel. So check that out. So, yeah, a lot of good stuff coming out. And it's time to talk about what we're going to be playing. Obviously, I'm going to be playing Sniper Elite 5 when it comes out on Game Pass next week. So, Burly, what are you going to be playing or streaming this coming week?
There'll be 2 titles for streaming. Pokemon Platinum, continue on with the Nuzlocke run. And starting up Ghostwire Tokyo, because I picked that up on sale.
Nice. All right. Carl, how about you, man?
I expect I will still obviously be playing Chaos Gate.
Warhammer. Okay.
Will I get through it? I don't know, but I have my next game already purchased.
Yeah.
And that is War Tales on PC.
Okay.
They just dropped some new. It's an early access game, so they added some new stuff, and they have a discount on Steam, which I really like. That is, I don't use Steam a lot, so I didn't realize that you put games in your wish list. And if it goes on sale, you get an email that says it's on sale. I'm like, that. Thank you very much. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to get into War Tales. It is another turn-based sort of strategy type thing, but it's a different style. So
nice. All right. So to end the show, it's time for, of course, our indie recording artist spotlight. So in this week's spotlight, it's on Icarus. Icarus's music-making process begins with audio and later turns into something visual. Inspired by the French neo-disco electro scene, synthwave, and 80s sci-fi movies, Icarus tries to incorporate his influences in both the audio and visuals he creates. From his album titled Walls, and the song is called Lonely Earth. So this has been The Arena, a multi-platform gaming news podcast, episode 87. I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-hosts, Burly of Burlyman Gaming on Twitch, and Turn-Based Carl. We hope to catch you in the next one. So take care, everyone. Peace out.